vehicles that can captivate an entire segment, and uttering the name alone speaks nothing but legendary. And that, today, ladies and gentlemen, one of the few vehicles that can accomplish such a feat is the Ford Raptor. Courtesy of Airport Marina Ford. Thank you guys so much once again for this opportunity, because they don't just let anybody drive a Ford Raptor. I'll tell you that right now. You can't just come in here and say, yeah, I want to test drive a Ford Raptor. First of all, you got to go through a credit check and all that to even be given the key, even think about driving a Ford Raptor. So once again, thank you so much to Airport Marina Ford, Doug, Gerry, Dan. This is a blessed opportunity. Thank you guys so much. And let me go ahead and take you on the inside and show you what this Ford Raptor is all about, because I'll be honest, I'm not much of a truck guy, but seeing that this is literally the epitome and pinnacle of Ford engineering and their cornucopia, let's break it down a little bit. This vehicle, the F-150 anyway, for Ford in America is the #1 best-selling vehicle in the nation. For the past 30 years, that's older than me, ladies and gentlemen. And the best-selling truck in America for the past 40 years. Let's just put that into perspective. The first F-150 was built in 1943, 1942, around those years, basically 76 years ago. So almost its entire inception, it has been technically the best-selling vehicle and the best-selling truck, which is incredible. And when this vehicle was first introduced, at least the initial inception of it, it was actually known as the Ford SVT Lightning back in 1993. The SVT Lightning was the first iteration of the Ford Raptor. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when the SVT Lightning was discontinued back in 2004, they brought back the SVT Lightning, or the successor of it, as many people believe to be the Ford Raptor, in 2010. And it is, as you can see, is behind me, as you can see in the video. And throughout the video, this is what it's going to be all about, this Ford Raptor. So let me go ahead and show you on the inside and take it for a drive, because I'm dying to drive this vehicle. It's a very large vehicle, but it seems like a very lovely vehicle. Let's go ahead and check it out. Let's go. So what's this like driving a 2018 Ford F-150 Raptor? Well, I can tell you it's very comfortable, that's for sure. You definitely feel like this is a very large vehicle, but overall I'm sitting in pure comfort. We got heated and cooled seats in here, got the AC on, got my boy Gerry sitting in the shotgun. Once again, thank you so much to Airport Marina Ford, Doug, Gerry, and Dan, as aforementioned. But again, people, this is one of the few vehicles that once you say the name of it and utter the name, you understand it's something serious. The Raptor name, the Raptor moniker has really transcended everything, and most, especially since a vehicle like this is not the cheapest thing, but it's also fairly affordable to the somewhat above average person in a sense. It's not elitist in a sense, you know, it's not a Huracan, it's not a Ferrari, it's not any of those. It's still available to your hard worker, good paying job, hard working class American, for the most part. Gerry looking like, I don't know what kind of Americans you talking about. But overall, I mean, this is by far the best truck I've ever been in. And granted, my cockpit time in within trucks is somewhat limited. It's still you know luxury and you know class when you sit in it. And honestly, this is opulence. For a truck, this is mind-blowing to me. There's leather everywhere. Your softest plastics look nice still, but overall there's extensive use of leather and there's extensive use of nice brushed aluminum materials. And overall it looks like a very lovely place to be in. Aesthetically, it's very pleasing, it's very comfortable, and overall this is just a very engaging truck to drive. The steering, although is light, I still feel like it's very directive. And it's weird and crazy to think about it in that way, but obviously this is no regular truck. You know, this is what you use. Granted, many of them in LA never really see anything other than paved roads, but this is made to tackle off-roads, rocks, rock climbing, all of that. Baja, California. This is made for that, specifically made for that. And the crazy thing about it is I haven't actually gunned it, so I'm actually gonna put this in manual. This is manual, right, Gerry? Yeah. That's what Gerry in. So this is a 10-speed automatic as well, by the way. Similar to what's used in the Mustang, but obviously beefed up, especially on the low end, to handle the 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. And this is a twin turbocharged EcoBoost 3.5 liter V6. So that's what I'm gonna gun a little bit right here. Wow, that's crazy. weigh. This truck weighs 5,500 pounds in that neighborhood, and that's incredibly fast. It's really hard to kind of convey what it is, but this 10-speed automatic, again, just like in the Mustang, shifts incredibly fast. Okay, I see the emergency vehicle. And like I said, this 10-speed automatic that Ford has developed is something that really makes their vehicles, especially like I did in my previous Mustang GT review with a 10-speed automatic in 2018. This transcends almost everything and makes these vehicles, to me, in my opinion. And it really changes the driving dynamics of it, because you have a transmission that shifts so fast, you don't need to worry about anything else other than, like I said, when you're in manual mode, changing it by yourself, which is incredible when you think about it. But for this to be so heavy of a vehicle and move this way, it's honestly mind-boggling, and I don't really know what other way to describe it other than it's a lot of fun. So let me see, do a little turn here, see how it feels. Okay, so that felt really compliant, felt really good. And I was only about 70% throttle just now, and then obviously I went full throttle. I'm amazed. I've never ever felt something weigh this much move this fast. Granted, you know, obviously there are things with more horsepower out there, but overall, you would think that something that has a 3.5 liter V6, although twin turbocharged, just doesn't really move. But overall, how you feeling in this, Jerry? Give you a little input a little bit.
It's definitely fast for a big truck.
It's
pretty quick.
It's this definitely catches you off guard for sure. And you would not expect something that weighs this way. It's nearly 3 tons. Just think about that for a moment.
Yeah.
And it has a towing capacity, speaking of 3 tons, it has a towing capacity of 3 tons, 6,000 pounds. But overall, let me put it back in automatic so it's handled it on its own. Pay attention more to the driving. But overall, like I said, sitting in here is literally, I'm in straight comfortability. The dash layout, everything is pleasing to the eye. The door handles itself has a little like elongated hexagonal type, almost carbon fiber-esque looking design to it. That's a nice touch in my opinion. But overall, this is really comfortable. I've never really driven a truck that has such capabilities on the off-road, but feels so composed and well put together on the streets of LA. And obviously in the streets, especially in Inglewood, you know, Airport Marina Ford is near Inglewood, and some of these streets are, for lack of a better word, straight awful. But like I said, we're going through some bumps right now. I barely feel that. This is really nice. I really do enjoy this, and I'm not a truck guy at all by any means, but I understand what this is for and what it can do. And it's unfortunate that obviously, you know, I would love to take this on off-road, but it would be pretty much impossible unless it was my own. So to really see the capabilities of this, but I mean, let's be honest, especially for the people that buy this on LA, as I was saying earlier, the majority of people that buy this, this Raptor will never see off-roading, for the most part.
Nope.
Now, obviously, there are some, you know, different people out there that actually like to use their vehicles for what it's made for, but overall, this is going to be your traffic harvesting truck. And by all means, that is perfectly okay with me. Even though I'm more of the mindset of use the vehicle to its capabilities, especially in sports cars. But overall, I mean, wow. Like, I'm completely blown away by the truck, and this is honestly my honest opinion. This is why this channel is called Views from the Heart. I'm saying my honest opinions about this, and I have to go ahead to trash any vehicles that I want and feel the need to. Right, Doug? Nah. But overall, and like I said, and Jerry's mentioned me earlier, they don't just allow anybody to drive something like this. So I'm extremely thankful for this opportunity. Thank you so much to Airport Marina Ford, because let's just say some things could happen. God forbid something were to happen. Let's just say that. But overall, again, I understand why the Raptor is so revered and why the name in and of itself, and the F-150 in general, has such a stranglehold on this segment in America. Again, as I said in the very beginning, the F-150 is the #1 selling vehicle in the nation for the past 30 years. And the F-150 is the #1 selling truck in the nation for the past 40 years. So if there's anything that Ford knows how to build well, and very well at that, it's clearly the F-150. And the Raptor is the pinnacle of Ford engineering. And overall, it just, for a truck, I've driven a few trucks before, and none of them, and both of them, and every single one of them has paled in comparison to this. And this is the first truck where I felt like as if it actually feels comfortable to drive, and it's just doing what it needs to be doing, rather than feel like it's rattling here, or that the tailgate feels like it's bouncing up and down like it has a mind of its own or anything. This feels like a very well oiled, streamlined machine. And overall, like I said, I can't speak volumes enough about how immaculate this truck is, both driving wise and comfortability. And like I said, I've driven trucks before where I feel like I'm just bouncing around, but this doesn't feel like that at all. It feels great, and it's surprisingly fast, especially for what it is. Like I said, it's all in context and it's relative, but this EcoBoost, when I first heard of it, especially when they moved to the EcoBoost, the 3.5 liter V6 from the V8 that they had in here in the previous Raptor, a lot of people groaned and moaned and was like, you know, you're downsizing this and downsizing that. And admittedly, I do miss the sound and roar of that V8, but the V6, it doesn't sound that bad. It's still not a V8, but it's still sorry, excuse me, I just need to pay attention here. Very expensive vehicle, people, that keep my eyes on the road. But overall, like I said, it's sometimes you gotta deal with the times, and you know, just take it for what it is and understand that this is just a better engine in pretty much every way you can think about, besides at least in many respects what I think to be sometimes the most important thing. But what is better in pretty much every other way, the sound. And although the sound is not as sonuous and inviting as the V8, it's more powerful, it's faster, it offers more torque. Jesus, people, stop.
I don't want to get hit by that.
Oh my lord. But overall, again, like I said, this vehicle, if I could afford it, honestly I would. And I'm not a truck guy. I've always been a car guy, but this is the first truck where I can honestly sit here and say that I would definitely buy this. Not just say if it was like this I would think about it. No, if I could afford it, I would buy this right now. I'd be like, Jerry, ring it up. And that's an honest to God opinion. I'm not lying about that just because I'm, you know, working with Airport Marina Ford or whatever. If it wasn't something I would buy, I would be honest and say it's just not for me. But like I said, I understand, because you sit high, it makes you feel, it has extreme road presence, makes you feel great on the road. There's something about driving a truck that just makes you feel like a bad, to be honest. And that's honestly what it really boils down to, is the truck game, people. The truck game.
Please do me a favor and get it. Make my money. You get it. Set for life.
But again, like I said, this Raptor is definitely something else, that's for sure. So we got backup cameras all around, warning me, you know, keeping me in check. Got the 3D camera, too, front and rear facing camera. There's so much space in here. The rear seating capacity is ridiculous. This is such a large truck, but yet it feels nimble, and that's crazy to think about it, because I have absolutely no issue maneuvering that. You can see this is not the smallest street, but it's not the biggest street either, and that was easy. Like I said, got the cameras, got the parking sensors. Big truck, but nimble at the same time, and obviously that helped with the added technology within here. And this truck is chock filled with technology. And honestly, when it comes to buying a vehicle, for most people, this is the second largest transaction of their life besides buying a house. So when you buy a vehicle, especially something like this that is you know, not cheap by any means, people want to know what it's like to drive and what it likes to feel, and that's like people like me to convey that information to you. And like I say, even if you're not even the biggest truck guy, I guarantee you, if you have the opportunity to afford something like this and want to look into it, this will change your mind, because it definitely has changed my mind. And now, like, again, it's not the most sports car centric type. You're gonna feel like a Michael Schumacher in here or anything like that, but it feels composed. I have enough feedback through the steering wheel to understand what I'm doing, and I feel confident in the maneuvers that I'm doing. And for a truck, it doesn't feel like when I'm taking a curve or a turn that it's about to flip over. it doesn't feel like that, honestly. Which is, for a truck, is insane when you think about it. It's because, let's be real, there's some questionable tiers offered by some automakers out there of their base spec trucks, feeling like, was this cleared? Like, is this street legal? But this definitely is not even in the realm, zip code, or whatever you want to call it, because this feels like a well-oiled, well-machined, well-engineered machine. And once again, thank you so much, Airport Marina Ford. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My guy Jerry, call up Airport Marina Ford if you have any vehicle needs of your own. The number's on the screen. Pass for Jerry. And thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day. This is Views from the Heart. It's your boy Jeameave. I'll see you again in the next video. I'm out.